Hi, welcome back everybody.
Welcome back to our channel.
And we were just reminiscing today. We're looking at some photos and we just remembered like at the time we met. We met like years ago in college.
Yes.
We both were actually into modeling and we both were in a fashion show. We ended up being the same partners in the fashion show.
We were walking partners in the fashion show. So it was we usually have an annual summertime fashion show at our college, and so I didn't have a walking partner at first. And then the day before the fashion show, Tiffany ended up being my walking partner. I didn't think much of it.
Yeah.
At the time, I was dating someone, she was dating someone, and from there we just walked together. And we actually have a photo that we will show. Here it is. So you see, we look totally different then, much younger, but yes, we walked together. So
we didn't even know we were gonna end up with each other. We were complete strangers. We actually, we did the fashion show, and I guess it was like 3 years later. Yeah. Actually,
fast forward about maybe a year or two later, and we were supposed to meet for this youth Bible study group in downtown Atlanta, and
yeah, so we were supposed to meet for this group, and I don't know what happened with me. I got tied up with something, but I ended up not meeting with Joshua from the group. I ended up standing him up, and
yeah, it wasn't a great day for me because I was hungry for that Bible study. I had my Bible, I had my highlighter, I had my pen, and I was totally ready. I was prepared, and then I happened to meet at the place and no one showed up, so it happened to be canceled.
Yep.
So I was reaching out to Tiffany, didn't get any details on that it was canceled, so I was out there for about an hour and a half. So I went home frustrated. Had to drive all the way back home, about 30 miles back home.
Yeah, I called you back. You didn't even answer.
Yep, I didn't
answer my call
because I felt like that was rude. I mean, I'm sorry. We were supposed to meet, and yeah, I was so disappointed. I really wanted to get some good word in. I was just so hungry for it. But anyways, fast forward about 2 more years forward.
Yeah.
And in 2013, we actually crossed paths again.
Yes.
So I happened to be on Facebook one day, and Tiffany's profile came up, and I heard God's voice in my ear. He said, message her. And I was like, okay. Usually if God tells you to do something, please do it because you won't regret it. You will never regret it. So I messaged her, and then I said, hey. And then she said, hey, back. And then I heard God ask that she have a boyfriend. I was like, okay, God. And I asked, and she said no. And then after that, God said, ask her out on a date. So basically, God played matchmaker in this whole thing. But to give a little background story on that, this was right after I drafted up my list. God told me I was so tired of being lonely and I was ready for a serious relationship. So God told me to write in detail what you want in a spouse. Like exact detail, light skin, dark skin, Caucasian, black, what have you, long hair, short hair, height. And he had me do that, and I wrote it down, and there you have it. Then God, this is what happens after that. I mean, that's the prequel, but then so we ended up going on that date. Let me get back to the date. We went on that date, we saw a movie. It was a great date.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
pretty innocent. Like we were just going with the flow. We weren't really expecting anything from each other. I was recently out of a relationship as well. It was just so coincidental, like when I started to get serious with my relationship with God and just focus on being alone. I had Joshua reach out to me, and at first I was kind of hesitant, and then later on I just went along with meeting him up for this date.
So yes, my advice to all of you out there is talk to God first. If you really feel in your heart that you're ready for a spouse, talk to God and He will direct your path. Or just take the prophetic route and go ahead and draft out and write the vision and make it plain. Write out what you want in a spouse.
Yeah.
And watch God honor that. Watch Him honor that. I promise you. It happened like immediately. Right after I wrote that list, it was like maybe a couple weeks or a month. And then He told me to message Tiffany.
Yeah.
And ever since then, she would come up to my job and visit me and whatnot. The next thing you know, we just both felt around the same time, we both felt that we need to get married. Like, we dated, and then around the same time, hey, it's time to get married. And that's what happened. So it all started from a fashion show in college that we didn't think we would cross paths 4 years later. So definitely, if you have any stories like this, any of you married couples out there, or any of you seriously dating couples out there have a story like this, or something similar to where you connected at one point, then didn't talk to each other for like 4 years and reconnected, put a comment down below. I mean, tell us your story. We would love to see your story. I mean, it's kind of like I don't want to call it a Cinderella story, but it's just like God is so amazing.
Yes, He is.
I mean, God is so amazing with how He does things and how He orchestrates things. So definitely keep it up. Keep up the comments. We do read the comments and we do respond. Like and subscribe to our channel. And we're going to keep this thing going. We promise we're going to keep this weekly content commitment up.
Thanks for watching.
Yes.